Hello everybody and welcome to From My Perspective. I'm Ryan Noakes and thank you for joining me for another episode. Today I'm going to be talking about some essential skills that I think make a great customer success manager. So I've sat down and I've spoken for Bright CX about getting started as a customer success manager. And for those who've seen it, you'll know that I've been lucky enough to guest speak at Abingdon and Whitney College about transferable skills. Therefore, I wanted to put the two together and do a video on the core skills that I think make a great customer success manager. Now, I mentioned this in my video for Bright CX and Abingdon and Whitney College, but I really do think that everybody in their career should do some self-reflection. I think we all should understand our makeup. Now, I do think we need to know what drives us and motivates us to make better career choices, but I specifically mean our DNA of skills. Now, take a look at everything you're currently doing and write them down. Think about the various tasks you do and what skills are associated to that task. Once you've done that and you've been through that process, you'll realise that potentially that career move you wanted doesn't seem that different as it might have once done, and it might not be that far away as it once was. Now that's what I did. I've been in customer success for about 3 years, but I've been working around kind of customer success for over 5 years, and I've been working with customers, being customer facing, and kind of in a customer service type role my entire career. I did some self-reflection. I was in a role where I helped customers develop compliance diaries, as you can see. Now, you don't need to know the ins and outs, but I used to meet with the customers. I used to hold technical discussions virtually. I used to liaise with them via email. I built up a strong relationship with them. And I needed to do all that because they had their diaries regular. So I helped them navigate the online software as well to log compliance and much more. Now, when I was thinking of moving to a customer success role, I took a look at those skills and I realised that actually all of those were exactly what you do as a customer success manager. Now, of course, I had a lot of other skills that you don't do as a CSM or aren't transferable, but I knew that when I wanted to transition over, I was basically already halfway there. Now, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I absolutely love that quote. And I've got one at the end as well. So firstly, I wanted to talk about some core skills that I feel are very much at the top of the list and stand out the most. Then, later on, we'll go over some others. So we start off with problem solving. So for me, this is a big part, if not, well, the main part of a customer success manager. As a CSM, you have a wide range of responsibilities, but helping a customer solve a problem is really what we are all about. You are positioning a platform, a tool, a product, a solution to help them navigate around an issue that they are currently having within their business. Whether it's helping them save time and or money, or perform actions otherwise that would be tricky without your solution, you are problem solving. Now, another huge part of a customer success manager is building up a good, strong relationship with your customers. You have to have that relationship to make it work, in my opinion. You need to become their trusted advisor so that when you are assisting them and you're positioning solutions, it is coming from a place of knowledge and experience rather than potentially commercial led. Now, by understanding the business, the people, their goals, you can better help them. If you understand all of that and you have a good relationship with them, it will make the project run a lot smoother. Now, having empathy is key. Later on in the other skills, I talk more about emotional intelligence, and I guess, well, this is probably covered, but I wanted to specifically include empathy separately, as it's actually one of the most common skills you hear and you read about. Now, as a customer success manager, you need to help people. And for me, if you cannot understand them and you cannot put yourself in their shoes, how can you assist them? If you cannot understand how they might be feeling, or how that situation is affecting them, you cannot advise them in the best way. And as a CSM, that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to get them to navigate choppy waters and make that journey as smooth as possible. And we need to be able to understand kind of what they're going through, their frustrations, their needs, and kind of the overall end goal. Now, this might seem like an obvious one, but it is, of course, a really key skill to have. In any role, having good communication skills is key. And to be honest, this is probably something that you'll hear a lot. This is a skill in most roles that I feel is really important. And I think it's even more important for a customer success manager, because you do communicate a lot. You need to keep them up to date, you need to inform them, you need to educate them, and you need to train them. Now, you also communicate both written and verbal. So a big part of the day-to-day life of a customer success manager is speaking to customers, whether that be via emails or video calls or presentations. You are speaking to customers, and words are powerful and can really get the result that you need. Now, the last of the core skills, and these are, I guess, specific skills, ones that you might not have learned before, is teaching and presenting. Now, I feel, and I guess that's the reason I put it on the key list, is that this is something you need to have to be a great customer success manager. Now, most CSMs have an element of teaching. Most of the time, a CSM is presenting a solution or an answer, but I mean literally presenting. I mean sitting in front of the camera, as I am doing now, on a video call, or presenting a slide deck, or demonstrating a platform, and speaking to the end customer. So I guess it links in with communication, but it's specifically around the style of delivering that information and getting that information across. Now, there is also an element of teaching, because as a big part of a CSM, your job is to enable the customer and help them get the absolute most out of the tool or the platform or the solution or the product. But it's also to help them get up and running and to teach them how to use services or product. Now, most companies that I've worked in, that I've seen, that I've dealt with, do not solely adopt a paper guide method to their adoption. And they do have some sort of an onboarding or a customer success to teach their solutions or their products. So now we move on, to the other skills. Now, I'm not saying that these are kind of any less important, but these are the ones previously I feel, I guess, that are more at the heart of a CSM and that make up the DNA. And these are kind of the extra ones that maybe sit outside of that. And of course, with any of these that I discuss, I'm not saying that you have to absolutely have them to be a CSM, or if you don't have them, you can't be a CSM. I'm just listing those skills that I feel, personally, I have. And from the last kind of 5 years of working in and around customer experience and other CSMs that I see and I deal with, and this is kind of the list from my perspective. So I briefly spoke about emotional intelligence before when I covered the empathy. And to be honest, emotional intelligence could probably have its own video. In fact, I might write that one down. But you do need this because you need to stay calm in situations. And you need to kind of not let yourself get overwhelmed by your emotions, be it kind of stress, unhappiness, or whatever. You need to kind of have that core element of being able to compose yourself, deal with emotions, understand other emotions as well. You need to understand your customers' emotions and how they're feeling and how that what you do directly impacts them. Now, as a CSM, part of your role is to manage projects or deployments. And that comes with a certain level, of course, of expectation from the customer. Now, also, kind of in my view, a big part of a CSM is to be the glue in between customers and other teams. And when it comes to delivering updates from the product or support team, you need to, of course, manage those expectations. Organizational skills. Okay, yes, this is another big one that you will hear often, and of course a classic one that you hear when you're job hunting or you read on job descriptions. But you do spin a lot of plates as a CSM. Trust me, I know, I've been there, I've been in different environments, and you are juggling a lot of different things. Multiple clients at multiple stages, various calls. I mean, in any one day, you could be having a kickoff call for a brand new customer, a project handover call with sales, a brand new customer before you've met them. You could be completing and you could be doing a review of the deployment. You could be doing a product update call, and you could be doing some form of training all in one day. And because you're spinning a lot of plates and you're having these various stages, you need to stay organised. I'm very organised. I've got a great system with my calendar and my tasks, and I block certain blocks out for project work, and I do smart calendar invites in Google Calendar, so you get kind of a 10-minute buffer in between. And there's loads of little tips. In fact, I mean, that could in itself be another video as well about staying productive and staying organised, especially whilst working from home. But you do need that, I think, as a CSM. Now look, you will hear me say this a lot. I mentioned it plenty of times throughout my talk to the students in my video for Abingdon and Whitney College. But confidence is key. You need to have confidence in what you are speaking about, confidence in what information you are delivering, and confidence in the platform or the system or the service that your customers are using. Now, I've said this again and I'll say it. You cannot fake confidence, and it isn't something that I think can be taught in a classroom. And I also think that customers will warm to you much, much more. And it is actually, in my opinion, a lot easier to do what we need to do as a CSM if you already have the confidence in what you're doing. I think if you've got that natural confidence in being able to deliver the information, and you have the confidence in the product that it does do what it says it should do, and it is going to help people, then it's going to make it a lot easier to speak about. Now, a key difference between customer service and customer success is that customer service is reactive and customer success is proactive. And I am actually going to do a video later on in the From My Perspective series on that. But as a CSM, you need to be proactive. Okay, it's about seeing a potential issue before it happens and dealing with that and sorting it. Now, customers need you as a CSM to guide them and not just be reactive to their issues, but help them get better along the journey. And I guess the next point sort of follows on, because as a CSM, you do need to think ahead and you need to plan your next move. I'm always looking for the bigger picture as a CSM. I'm looking at that bigger picture. Not only am I looking for it, kind of once I've seen it, I'm looking at kind of how the customer is growing, how their adoption is increasing or decreasing. I'm planning on what is coming up, product rollouts, changes, feedback, and I'm seeing kind of what will be their benefit, what specifically for them on their business goals, and making sure that at every single stage along the implementation plan or the customer journey, it aligns with their business goals. But I'm 3 months ahead, I'm 4 steps ahead, I'm thinking about the next project rollout because I know this could be in line with their end of year goals. So, analytical thinking, okay, is the ability to tackle complicated issues by evaluating the information that you've gathered and organised. Now, analytical thinkers can detect patterns between data sets that often lead to creative solutions. And they're able to turn kind of all that noisy data and information into action. And there is definitely an element of that, okay? So what I've just read out obviously is what you'll find if you Google kind of analytical thinkers. But that pretty much sums up what a CSM is about, or certainly this skill as part of a CSM, and that's why I wanted to include it. Because there is a lot of data gathering and there is a lot of data organising, And there is a lot of being able to analyze what situation is in front of you and analyze the data, the dashboard or the product or the platform or the trends or the journey or the feedback or the review or whatever that is. Analyze that and understand that this is what I now need to do as a CSM to turn that into an action. Resilience. Psychological resilience is the ability to mentally or emotionally cope with a crisis. Okay, so that might sound like an extreme, but it is a very key part to navigate projects. Things will not run smoothly all of the time. I can tell you that for free. Okay, they won't always run on track and they won't always be as smooth sailing as you would ideally want. And it's your job as a CSM to bounce back and bounce back quickly to get it back on the right track. Again, I go back to what I said before. They're looking at you to guide them and help them through that journey. So you need to get back up and you need to kind of deal with it and you need to be resilient. So if you describe a person as level-headed, you are saying that they're what? Calm and sensible, I guess, even in difficult situations. Calm, balanced, reasonable, composed. All these words will come up when you think about level-headedness. And if that doesn't describe a CSM, then I don't know how else I can. Because these are all the things that you need to have, I guess, to be a great customer success manager. And a lot of the time, you will need to deal with curveballs. There will be situations that don't follow the set structure or fill the boxes as per plan. And you will need to kind of deal with that, stay calm, stay level-headed, and kind of navigate to the next area of the plan that you can deal with at that point, or bring up past experiences, customer stories, etc. So last two, okay. First of all, we've got grit and tenacity. Again, I think you need these because as a CSM, you want, or if you're hiring a CSM, I guess you want that person to be someone that never gives up. If you're a CSM, you want to kind of have that ability to never give up. And it's not always easy making a customer happy, okay, or achieving a goal. But kind of specifically that, as I said, that's our aim, isn't it? To make customers happy, but it's not always as easy as the others. So sometimes it doesn't always go according to plan, and you will need to dig your feet and make sure you steer kind of things to keep on the right path. I'm not saying dig your feet in and be aggressive, but you need to be firm and you need to have that grit, I guess, to get them to their end goal, no matter what happens. And finally, we have patience. I know, trust me, I know that customers work off their own schedule. Sometimes being kind of a loose word, they do need a hard push, and you take that kind of as what you need. But the art is to stay patient, okay? Wait it out, play the long game, and I can guarantee you it will pay off because you will keep that relationship, okay? You need to keep that relationship whilst being patient. You need to be firm, but not too pushy. Be there when they need, and that's the key. And then you need to stay patient. And that, I guess, is the key to kind of getting around those tricky timescales or where they may be reluctant to move on the next step. Okay, you need to be firm, but not pushy. Keep their attention. Be there when they need. That's all they want to know, that you're there when they need, but you're not going to push them too hard that you lose that relationship. So there is kind of a summary, I guess, of all the skills that we've listed. Some are, I guess, more key or at the top of the list, and some are transferable, some aren't. But that's just a collection, I guess, of all those that I personally feel I've got, other CSMs have. And I guess when you're looking at hiring a CSM, whether that be external, internal, whether you're looking at kind of recruiting people or if you watching this video actually want to get in to a role within customer success. If you're looking at this slide and thinking, do you know what? Yeah, Ryan's right. I am doing a lot of these. I am teaching or I am presenting. I do have empathy. I am currently confident in what I'm delivering. I do some analytical or strategic thinking. No matter what, if you think that, or if you're looking at transferring your skills, or if you're looking at transferring into a customer success role, again, I'm not saying that you have to have these. I'm not in recruitment, so I'm not kind of skilled or experienced in that. I'm not, for any means, not saying this is the black and white job description. I'm saying I think these are top quality skills that make an absolutely fantastic customer success manager that's going to make your customers or customers that you deal with really happy. So you know I like my quotes, and this one from Lincoln Murphy is a great one. Customer success is about more than delivering service or support. And I think that sums it up. So, thank you so much for watching. Join me next time for more from my perspective.